definition of an FIR, how to file it, what are the problems that come, before a common man when they go to a police station to file an FIR, what are the issues they face, and what are the probable solutions that we have. In the end, we will also discuss that, what does a con man supposed to do in situations when a police person refuses to file an FIR. What are the solutions before them? Why do these issues happen? And we'll try, also discuss what are the solutions to this problem. So as everyone knows, the where exactly FIR comes, it comes under section 154 of the CRPC. So let's imagine a situation. Let us imagine probably your situation. You have to go to a police station to file an FIR. What do you think will happen? Just imagine कि आपको FIR लिखवाने पुलिस स्टेशन जाना है, तो क्या हो सकता है आपके साथ? Just think and have that image in front of you. So most probably what will happen is you'll go to a police station. The first thing that can happen is you'll be asked to wait for 10-15 minutes. You realize that the person who's supposed to speak to you or the person who's supposed to listen to your query is not there, and आपको कहा जाएगा कि आप wait करो 15-20 minutes. So you wait for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Then finally a person comes, you go to him, you summarize your problem to him, you tell him, okay, this is the issue, I need to file an FIR, these are the problems. And after hearing all your problems and making you for about 15-20 minutes, he may say that, okay, your case does not come under my jurisdiction, so I don't have the power to write your FIR under law. So therefore, I suggest you go to this police station. And or what probably can happen is the police person, after making you wait for a long period of time, may come and say, see, my shift is over now. Why don't you guys come at tomorrow, tomorrow 10 o'clock. So we'll just do it right now. I mean, tomorrow morning. So, and again, when tomorrow you come again, and then the police person says that, okay, it's not under my jurisdiction, please go to that police station. So these are a very, small problem. These are actually the problems that are faced by the common man when he goes to get an FIR registered in a police station. So we will try and discuss the solution to this problem in the end. But let us, first discuss what exactly under which provision does an FIR come, and under what situations can you go and get an FIR registered. Also, we will discuss at what time, is there a specific time when you need to get an FIR registered, or how do you get it registered, and some tactics in which you can go through problems, even you can face problems and try to come up with a solution. So firstly, as simple as that, FIR is a first information report, which comes under section 154 of the CRPC. So you go and get an FIR registered in cases of a cognizable offense. There are two types of offenses. The first one is cognizable and second one is non-cognizable. For those of you who don't know, cognizable offenses are, if you call it in Hindi, they are called Sangeen Aparadh. Sangeen versus Asangeen. Simple definition, simple way to identify of what is a cognizable offenses. Most offenses which have punishments for more than 3 years. So punishment for more than 3 years can often be called as cognizable offenses. In these kind of offenses, arrests can be made without warrant. And some examples for these offenses can be murder, dacoity, rape, and many other offenses. Now there's an exception. Certain offenses that are not punishable with imprisonment of less than 3 years can still be called as cognizable offenses. Some of them that are there. For example, under Chapter 8 of the CRPC, if you see, some offenses like public tranquility are punishable with imprisonment with less than 3 years. And they are called non-cognizable offenses. So they, cognizable offenses. So although their punishment is less than 3 years, but still they come under the category of cognizable offenses. In case of a cognizable offense, you can straight away tell the police person to write an FIR, as it is a serious matter. So they are offenses of serious matters, and the police person is supposed to write an FIR and take action. He can also make arrests without any warrant. So in this situation, he has the power to make an arrest without a warrant, and that are the cases of cognizable offenses. Now coming to non-cognizable offenses. In non-cognizable offenses, it's firstly these are offenses that come. These are offenses which are less than 3 years. So all offenses which are less than 3 years and cognizable are which are more than 3 years, punishment for more than 3 years. Non-cognizable, punishment less than 3 years. Again, some exceptions are there. They come under section 155 of the CRPC. So these are basically offenses which are of not that seriousness. For example, theft, probably something you've lost or something like that. So these small things, छोटा सा मारपीट का issue. So these are the offenses that are non-cognizable, and an NCR report is filed in this. So there is an NCR register, non-cognizable register, and there is an FIR register, first information report register. So these non-cognizable offenses are written in cases of in a non-cognizable register. In this, the police have they cannot make arrests again if there are certain exceptions. What I can probably do is the exceptions under this I can mention in the description. Under what circumstances can a police person make arrest in case of a non-cognizable offense. In most non-cognizable offenses, they are just written under the non-cognizable register. The person goes before the magistrate within 15 days up till a period of, I think, 60 to 90 days. So within this period of time, the person does his investigation and goes to the magistrate, and then after his permission, after the magistrate gives a thumbs up, okay, now you can write the FIR. So the FIR can be written in that situation. So until the magistrate gives his approval, okay, now you can write the FIR. Till then, under non-cognizable offenses, the FIR cannot be written. There are provisions, again, if you want to complain directly to the magistrate, you can do that. And in that case, the magistrate will study your case, will go through the facts, will go through the evidences, and then probably he can order the police to get an FIR registered. So as I was just mentioning, there are a few exceptions which I will just mention in the description below. Under what cases the police can actually make an arrest in case of a non-cognizable offense. Okay, moving ahead. Is there any, okay, I think I see some questions. Also, there are a few cases, FIR is lodged, they give about time frame. Okay, so what we can do is we can have the question answers in the end. So we'll just try quickly. I'll try my best to quickly finish this in about 30 to 35 minutes, and then we can have the suggestions and the questions probably in the end. So I hope now you've understood what is the difference between an NC, a non-cognizable, and cognizable offense. Now moving ahead. Okay, so under section 154 of the CRPC, if you can just quickly see what is section 154 of the CRPC. So that has the provision of an FIR. I'll quickly read it out to you. Information in cognizable cases. Every information relating to the commission of a cognizable offense is given orally to an officer in charge of a police station, shall be reduced to writing by him or under his direction, and be read over to the informant, and such information, whether given in writing or reduced to writing as aforesaid, shall be signed by the person giving it, and substance thereof shall be entered in a book, again same FIR register book, to be kept by such police officer in such form of state government may be prescribed in this behalf. Now, an FIR can be made before a police person unless there are certain exceptions. Again, I'll write the exceptions that are, you can directly refer to the BARE Act for these exceptions. I'll still mention them in the description below. There are some exceptions when a police person can be called to a house and, FIR can, be registered over there. So let us just, remove aside the exceptions and quickly come to, what happens in a normal case. Excuse me. Okay, so when can you write an FIR? As soon as possible. The answer is as soon as possible, because the more you delay in writing an FIR, jitna delay hota hai, utna hi, you will have to explain later, what was the reason for a delay of writing an FIR. So FIR when? As soon as possible. And in case if there is a delay from the police side, again, that we can, discuss later on how to deal with that situation. Now, where? Can be written in the jurisdiction of the offense. Just jurisdiction mein offense hua hai, it is advisable, it should be registered over there. Wahan pe it's best agar wahan pe hota hai. Otherwise, to the nearest police station. So either in the jurisdiction where the offense has taken place, or at your nearest police station. Who? By the victim, by the victim's friend, family members, anyone in the victim's family or person who's who's been an eyewitness also. So an eyewitness also can actually, also go and get an FIR registered. Time. What is the specific time when you can get your FIR registered? So the answer to this is there is no particular time. Police station are open 24/7. So there is no particular time frame that at 5 o'clock the police officer is going to go off duty, or at 10 o'clock कुछ ऐसा होता है. So there is no particular time frame. You can absolutely go and get an FIR registered 24/7. Now, we will discuss how to get an FIR registered. In the first part, we will discuss the format as per law, and secondly, I will try and give you my suggestions of what things you can keep in mind when you go to get an FIR registered. So very simply, it can be under section 154 of the CRPC. As I just mentioned, it can be given verbally. It can be given verbally. Second, it can be given in written. So you can probably write a complaint, take it, and insist a police person to write that in his diary and just write an FIR. After that, as I said, you can actually give it verbally or give it in writing. Now, when the police person is writing the FIR, the third point, he cannot make his opinions. So his opinions or you can just take his suggestion. If he suggests something based on the facts and circumstances of the case, but he has no authority to add on his opinions in the FIR. So that should not be done. After the police person is done with writing the FIR, the fourth thing that happens is that he's supposed to read it out to the person. So if you are a complainant and aapne FIR likhwayi hai, so it's his duty to read it out to you. Then the next thing is, after you read it out, you can either say, okay, that's absolutely correct, or you can tell the police person to make police officer to make changes. Okay, this is the point that I don't agree with. This is something which has wrongly been written. So please aap isko change kar do. And he has to do it because you are the one who's writing the FIR. Then after he makes the changes, you will sign it, and then you are also entitled to a free copy of the FIR. There are absolutely no charges. If you go to a police station, often there are there are notices over there that you can FIR copy is supposed to be provided to you free of cost. So please don't pay anything and complain to so and so in case if some officer asks you to pay for an FIR copy. So it is your legal right under section 150 of the CRPC that an FIR copy of an FIR is supposed to be given to you free of cost. Now, when you're taking the copy, make sure that has been signed and stamped by the police officer. Now, how to identify it in case if you lose it later on. So these are a few important details that I will quickly just type in over here. 1 second, let me just quickly type in these details. These are the things whenever someone asks you about an FIR as a law student or as any person, you should always know these details. I mean, it shouldn't be FIR मैंने वहां कराई है अशोक नगर थाने में और त्रिवेंद्रम थाने में. You always have these details. Every FIR has a unique number, so it can be -2020. So it usually every police station has a different name. So the name of the police station, the district, and हर police station में हर एक number होता है 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So usually on the 1st of January it starts from 1 and till 31st of December, whatever number is there. So usually in most police stations it can go up till 250, 350, 500 or maybe 1000, maximum 1000. So usually जो भी साल में FIR होती है तो ये FIR number होता है police station district. So you can use this information to find your FIR online also. So just make sure whenever you get a copy of an FIR, you must know these details because these details are very important. जो आपको पता होनी चाहिए अगर आप अपनी FIR को online search कर रहे हो. So if you are from the state of Karnataka, Haryana, Chhattisgarh, Jammu and Kashmir, so आपकी local police website होगी, and over there you can just Google and just type these information and get a copy of your FIR online only. So that provision is there. So just make sure you know all these things. Okay, so now these are the points that are told you under the law. How should you write an FIR? Now some of my suggestions in this, कि कैसे आपको FIR करवानी चाहिए. See, firstly, it depends from case to case. The reason why I'm telling you these things is because an FIR is the first thing that a judge sees, because FIR पहली चीज होती है जो जज के सामने आती है. So FIR के बाहर आप कोई भी कंप्लेंट करो, कुछ भी करो, वो बात की बात है. But FIR is the first thing that a judge sees. So it is very important to make it neat, clean and as clear as possible, because एक दिन में जज जो है कितनी फाइलें देखता है. तो इस सिचुएशन में अगर आपका जो है फैक्ट सही तरह से ऑर्गेनाइज्ड होंगे, इफ दे आर मेकिंग सेंस, सो इट विल बी सिंपल. आपका थोड़ा सा आपको एक थोड़ा सा एक कन्वीनियंस रहेगी. So first point, it should be in a form of a story. Story means all the facts. For example, आप FIR लिखवाने जा रहे हो, आप में से किसी एक इंसान ने एक ट्रक जाता हुआ देखा. You see a truck loaded mercilessly with animals. You see that cruelty is happening to those animals. So when you go to a police station to file an FIR, आपके points क्या होंगे? मैं जो हूँ, I am so and so. At around 5 o'clock, I was going from this road to attend this function. On the way, I saw a truck full of loaded so and so. First thing I did was I tried to stop that person. I tried to warn him. जो भी आपके facts हैं, अगर आपने उसको रोकने की कोशिश की, I tried to stop him. I noted down the number. Then I called so and so. So ऐसे ऐसे कहानी बनेगी कि ऐसे हुआ, फिर ऐसे हुआ, फिर मैंने कॉल करने की कोशिश करी, फिर ये हुआ. So जो भी आपका जो भी सिचुएशन होती है, it should always be very precisely and very well organized. I mean, I'm not saying कि इसमें कुछ manipulation होगा, but just make it very systematically कि ऐसा हुआ, फिर ऐसा हुआ, फिर ऐसा हुआ, फिर ऐसा हुआ. So all the things. Now second point, FIR जो है verbally बताई जा सकती है and writing में दी जा सकती है. My personal suggestion, always give it in writing, because when you go to a police station, it will not happen when you go जाते ही आपकी FIR note हो जाएगी and everything will go as planned. So it may happen that you might have to wait, you will have to run. These things happen. They shouldn't discourage you from following the legal process. So these things do happen, so they shouldn't discourage you. So always write a detailed, simplify it, write it in points, and then write it in the form of complaint and then take it with you, so that when you're getting an FIR registered, आप कुछ miss ना करो. That's the first thing. And second thing is, second point is always, always get a written complaint and then वहां पे आप उसको register करवाओ. Third point is, don't give any wrong fact. कोई भी गलत फैक्ट मत बोलो. कोई आपको चीज नहीं पता तो उसको मत बताओ, बट डोंट ट्राई एंड गिव अ रॉन्ग फैक्ट. और ये मत सोचना है कल को आप बोलोगे कि ओहो मैंने तो गलती से बोल दिया था, आई डिड नॉट मीन दैट. सो again, coming back to the second point, if you have everything in written in front of you, you have all the facts, you cannot make a mistake. Because even the smartest person, even when he's debating, even as when I'm talking to you, I have some points written down in front of me, because I know it is human mentality to forget points. It happens with me, it happens to you, it happens to the smartest. हम तो चलो बहुत छोटे-छोटे लोग हैं. Take the example of Shashi Tharoor. Shashi Tharoor, when he gave his Oxford speech, so if you must have heard it, very very smartly he disguised that I have scribbled some notes in front of me when I was sitting over there, I was doing so and so. Just try and pay attention to that. So it is very important that it is natural for us to forget things. So again, very important, make a note of your complaint. Lastly, simple points. Make sure after you've written it, clearly read it out, and if you think there is something wrong, don't sign it. Sign it only when you think that it is absolutely correct. Now issues do happen in this regard, but please always, as a matter of law, please make sure that you sign it only after you feel that it's correct. After it's done, get a free copy, make sure it's signed, and whatever points I mentioned, and that's all. So this is the ways how you can actually go and get an FIR registered. Now we've discussed what is an FIR, the legal points. Now what are you supposed to do in case if a police officer refuses to file an FIR? If he refuses to file an FIR, what you can do? We will discuss the jurisdiction issue as a second part of this, but first let us quickly discuss what you can do when if a police officer refuses to file an FIR. Firstly, it is an offense under section 166A. I will mention this in description. Police officer is supposed to write your FIR. If it is a cognizable offense, again I'm repeating myself, if it's a cognizable offense, he is supposed to write your FIR, and even if it is not under your jurisdiction, so he is supposed to write the FIR. In case that doesn't happen, you can give a written complaint to the SHO. Keep this thing in mind, always give it in writing कि मेरी ये FIR है, मेरा ये complaint है, ये है, एंड इन द एंड जो भी आपकी कंप्लेंट होगी उसी में लास्ट में लिख दो कि सो एंड सो पर्सन इज नॉट राइटिंग इट, गिव इट टू द एसएचओ एंड मेक श्योर। नाउ व्हाट इज द प्रूफ ऑफ दिस? सो व्हाई आई एम टॉकिंग, इसका प्रूफ क्या है आपके पास कि आपने उसको दिया है? ऑलवेज टेक इज रिसीविंग, दिस इज द फर्स्ट थिंग। टेक इज रिसीविंग जब आप एसएचओ को ऐसी कंप्लेंट देते हो, बिकॉज आफ्टर 30 days इफ SHO does not take an action and your FIR is still not registered, you will going to have to go and approach the SP of the state or SP. So SP को भी आपको सेम चीज बोलनी पड़ेगी, देखो ये मेरी कंप्लेंट है, ये कॉपी है कि रिसीविंग है उसकी, मैंने वहां कंप्लेंट करी है, ही इज नॉट टेकन एक्शन। सो सेम थिंग यू डू विद द SP। जब आप SP ऑफिस में ये चीज दोगे तो गेट इट रिसीव्ड, रिसीविंग लेनी बहुत जरूरी है इसकी। अगर किसी वजह से इफ यू कैन नॉट गो, the most simplest thing to do is send it by registered post. India Post, we all know, send it registered post to the SHO. 30 days, nothing happens. After 30 days, send it to the SP by registered post. थोड़ा सा और आपको स्मार्ट बनना है और उस सिचुएशन नहीं हो रहा, आई विल नॉट रिकमेंड दिस, बट अगर आप इफ यू आर ट्राइंग टू इफ यू फील दैट बहुत ज्यादा अर्जेंसी है एंड आपका वो नहीं ले रहे हैं, जस्ट ट्राई एंड क्वाइटली मेक अ वीडियो ऑफ इट शोइंग दैट यू आर गिविंग इट, you're giving the complaint, but no one is willing to listen to you. But again, this has to be done in extreme circumstances and with a lot of precaution. You need to have an escape route, क्या आपका escape route होगा अगर in case if things go wrong, and all these things, because ये थोड़े से दबंग रास्ते हैं, so these things should be planned a bit. So इस चीज का खास ध्यान रखना कि आप उसकी वीडियो बना लो, because why I'm talking about this thing, क्यों वीडियो बनानी है, क्यों registered post से भेजना है, because tomorrow after 1 year 2 year 3 years when you will come, when your matter will come before the court or you file a complaint before the magistrate, अगर SP आपकी फिर भी एक्शन लेते हो, so next step is go to the magistrate. So you will need to show some proof कि देखो these are the persons who have not registered your FIR. If you want a strict action to be taken, if you want कि चलो आप magistrate आपकी बात मान ले and आप उसको फॉर्मेलिटी कर लो, तो ये सारे सबूतों की जरूरत नहीं होगी। बट इफ यू वांट अ स्ट्रिक्ट एक्शन टू बी टेकन अगेंस्ट दोस पीपल, देन यू वुड नीड एविडेंस, बिकॉज उस सिचुएशन में एविडेंस बहुत काम का होगा आपके। तो इसलिए मैंने आपको 3 सजेशंस दिए हैं। पहला, आप रिसीविंग लो। दूसरा, आप रजिस्टर्ड पोस्ट से भेजो, विच इज वेरी सिंपल। रजिस्टर्ड पोस्ट से भेजो, छोटी सी वीडियो बना लो उसकी, देखो मैंने डाल दिया, ये कर दिया, इंडिया पोस्ट के उसमें हो, सील हो गया, उस पर एक यूनिक नंबर लिख दो अपने साइन का, फॉर एग्जाम्पल कंप्लेंट 1, और उसको भेज दो। सो आपके पास एक वीडियो भी है जो एक स्ट्रॉन्ग प्रूफ है कि देखो ये चिट्ठी है, ये मैंने भेजी है। अब कल को मैजिस्ट्रेट बोल सकता है कि दिखाओ रजिस्टर्ड पोस्ट, इंडिया पोस्ट से आपको चिट्ठी जो आई है, बिकॉज ये रिकॉर्ड में आ जाता है, तो शो दैट थिंग, और वो एनवेलप होगा, इट कैन बी एब्सोल्युटली प्रूवन कि ये वही चिट्ठी है जो आपने भेजी थी। एंड दूसरा, तीसरा इज ऑफ कोर्स द कैमरा। Although all the police stations have CCTVs, but it may become difficult for you to procure that footage and then show it before the magistrate. So again, take a small video कि आपने SHO को ये चीज बोली, उसने कुछ नहीं किया। So again, these small evidences are important, because if you want to take a serious action against those who are not writing your FIR, if your purpose is not to take any action, you don't need to do these things. Just send it by the registered post and just go before the magistrate, complaint after they don't take action, and tell them that my FIR was not registered. So again, coming back to the magistrate, so if your FIR is not registered, if the police officer, the SHO, the SP, they don't take an action, go to the magistrate. If your case has some substance, he will authorize, he will order them to get an FIR registered. So that is how probably you can approach the magistrate and get an FIR registered. So I hope this has made sense. If you have any questions till now, you can just write down your questions, and maybe I can answer them in the end. अगर आपको कोई भी question आ रहा है mind में, just write in the comments. Let's see if anyone has questions. Okay, I'll probably answer this. I'll answer this in the end. So I think we will finish in about 20 minutes or so, at max 15 to 20 minutes. So let me just probably answer this in the end. That time, if you also are coming up with questions, I encourage you to just quickly write this question in the comment or with you, and just later on write in the comments. So okay, so after the FIR is registered, the police have आपने एक final document अपने site पे register कर दिया, neat and clean site document. Now the police will take action. They will make arrests, and they will probably have about 60 days, between 60 to 90 days, 60 days in case of a lower court, and 90 days in case of a sessions court. So they will have about 60 to 90 days to do their investigation and file a charge sheet. Charge sheet में they will just write कि क्या उन्होंने इन्वेस्टिगेशन की है, क्या ऑफेंसेस हैं, कोई सेक्शंस लगाना भूल गए हैं, नहीं है. So these things they are going to do from their end. So after they file a charge sheet, then फिर कोर्ट properly चलता है. कई बार आपने केसेस में देखा होगा कि चार्ज शीट फाइल होते होते बहुत टाइम लग जाता है. So again, that is something that that happens, that वो गलत चीज होती है. So okay, so again police files a charge sheet and then आपका केस जो है कोर्ट में चलता है. One very important thing is कि it may happen that from the date of an FIR, जिस दिन offense होता है उस दिन से लेके जब तक ये एविडेंस की स्टेज आए, मे बी 4, 5, 6 years हो जाए, तो उस केस में हो सकता है जिस पुलिस वाले ने आपको FIR लिखने से मना किया हो वो शायद वहां पे हो ही ना, उसका ट्रांसफर हो गया हो. सो इस सिचुएशन में दैट्स व्हाई आई एम सेइंग कि आपके पास छोटे छोटे प्रूफ होने चाहिए कल को, ताकि आप अगर डिले होता है तो आप इसे जस्टिफाई कर सको उस टाइम पे कि देखो उस टाइम ये सब चीजें हुई थी, हमने ये सारे प्रिकॉशंस अपने एंड से लिए थे. सो ऑलवेज टेक प्रिकॉशंस फ्रॉम योर एंड and make sure, because it will not happen tomorrow or day after. It will take time. Unfortunately, that's the reality, but it's going to take time. So just be sure कि आप अपनी साइड से proper कागज जो है वो कुछ गलती ना करो उसमें. Okay. Now coming to a very interesting concept, and which is of the zero FIR. Now, whenever an offense takes place, you have to go to a nearest police station. If they say that this is not our jurisdiction, you can say that under the concept of zero FIR, you are supposed to take down my FIR, and that's your duty. So कोई भी पुलिस ऑफिसर अगर आपको FIR लेने से मना नहीं कर सकता under this zero FIR. Now, where is this mentioned under the law? Sorry. So where exactly is this mentioned under the law? There is no legal provision under this, but still it can be. I mean, there is no explicit provision under any code on a zero FIR, because the concept was introduced in 2013. So there is no provision, but section 460 of the CPC and section 166A of the IPC can you can take reference from there. So I will just write these points in detail in the description below, and in sections में आप थोड़ा सा reference ले सकते हो कि हाँ zero FIR का ये concept है. बिकॉज कहीं ना कहीं सेक्शंस कहते हैं कि पुलिस ऑफिसर की ड्यूटी बनती है, 460 के अंदर ये इश्यूज हैं, तो उनको देखते हुए जीरो एफआईआर का कॉन्सेप्ट है. नाउ आफ्टर वी ऑल नो, आफ्टर द निर्भया केस इन 2013, द जस्टिस वर्मा कमिटी मेड एन अमेंडमेंट इन द क्रिमिनल लॉ अमेंडमेंट एक्ट 2013. The amendment was passed in the Lok Sabha on the 19th of March 2013 and by the Rajya Sabha on the 21st of March 2013, and it got the president's assent on 2nd April 2013. So all those protests that happened, उन protests का एक result हुआ. Justice वर्मा कमिटी ने ये amendments ये suggestions दिए, and इसका जो हमने amendments हुए उसमें president का assent जो है by 3rd of February 2013 मिल भी गया था, and it came, sorry, 2nd को मिला, and it came to force on the 3rd of February. So under that, registering an FIR was made mandatory for all police stations. So no police station can refuse to file or register an FIR if an offence is reported or occurred outside the jurisdiction. So he or she is bound to write an FIR if a person comes to complain, and make sure he writes it, and then the forwarding part can happen later. So उसने FIR लिख ली, and जो भी jurisdiction बनती है उसने उसको बाद में वहाँ forward कर दिया. So this is ये चीज clearly इसमें कही गई है. इसमें जो है क्या होगा कि वो आपकी FIR लिख लेगा, आपको एक कोई नंबर नहीं मिलेगा, इस तरह आपको जीरो मिलेगा. कोई जैसे आपको मैंने पहले बताया, there is always a number of an FIR. So you will not get a number, but you will get a zero something something. So then after that is forwarded to the police station, जो भी उसकी jurisdiction बनती है, then you will probably get a number for that. Let us take a reference of a case law. This is from the Delhi High Court. In the case of Kirti Vasisht versus State of Odisha, I'll mention this in the description below. So as per section 154 of the CRPC, if any information is given relating to the commission of a cognizable offence is received by any police station, the said police station is duty bound to register an FIR. However, if the crime is not occurred in the jurisdiction of the said police station, then after registering the zero FIR, the same has to be transferred to the concerned police station for investigation where the offence has been committed. A zero FIR can be filed in any police station by the victim, irrespective of the residence or the place of occurrence of crime. आगे जाते हैं। इसमें कोर्ट ने डायरेक्शन दी पुलिस कमिश्नर को, इट इज ऑल्सो डायरेक्टेड टू द पुलिस कमिश्नर टू एनसीटी टू इशू अ सर्कुलर, कि आप एक सर्कुलर इशू करो और सारे पुलिस स्टेशन को इन्फॉर्म करो कि ये जीरो एफआईआर वो लिखें। तो इफ समवन कम्स टू यू टू राइट एन एफआईआर, डोंट सेंड हिम बैक जस्ट बाय saying कि ये jurisdiction मेरी नहीं है, don't give these excuses. You're supposed to write the FIR and then forward it to any police station. So excellent judgment by the Delhi High Court. I'll just mention it in the description. So that is it. That is the zero FIR. So don't ever hesitate if someone says zero FIR नहीं है. Someone might confuse you कि अच्छा under which provision does it come? कानून में क्या provision है? So these small things, you shouldn't be afraid of these things. You should give the reference of the Delhi High Court order. You should give the reference to the Justice Verma Committee. You should give the references जो मैंने आपको अभी डिस्क्रिप्शन में बता दूंगा, Section 460 of the CRPC and 166A of the IPC. इन सब के रेफरेंस दो आप, इन सबको मैं बहुत ही 8-10 लाइन में समराइज कर दूंगा आपके लिए. So just have a look at this description after this video is uploaded and just quickly read those points and you'll probably understand कि क्या उनके मतलब बनते हैं. So इन चीजों को माइंड में रखो and just say these things very bluntly with confidence कि this is the law and you are supposed to write my FIR. Lastly, the Hyderabad case. So what happened in probably 2019 in Hyderabad? A girl realized her tire was punctured. She was on a highway. Some men came to her on pretext of helping her. Now she realized there was something fishy about them. She called her sister. She told her that there's some problem over here, and just she told her about it, and then uska phone switch off ho jata hai. Within half an hour her family reaches that spot. They don't find the girl. They go to a police station. FIR is not registered. Finally jurisdiction का issue उन्होंने कहा कि jurisdiction हमारी नहीं है. करते 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 FIR जो है वो 3 बजे 3 AM at night those people write the FIR, and at 5 AM the body of that girl is found. इसको हम हैदराबाद के केस के नाम से जानते हैं. व्हेन अ वेट आपने सुना होगा जो फेमस हैदराबाद केस है, इट हैपेंड ऑन द 29th of November. So had those police people, had they done their duty, had they written that zero FIR, because 2013 का है ये and this is 2019 में जब ये केस हुआ है. So 2013 के पास के कोई चीज को अगर उन्होंने उस टाइम ले लिया होता, अगर उन्होंने उनको ये चीज बताई होती कि देखो ये है, आप bloody hell write the FIR, so they may have taken an action. And again, I'm not blaming the victim. I'm saying it's their fault. The police are not supposed to be illiterate. I mean, it's their duty to know these laws and just not not harass the victims. So had they taken action at that time, I think the life may just have been saved. So they did not do that, and it was severely criticized. As a result, those 4 to 5 police officers were suspended. But I think that's certainly not enough. I mean, suspicion usually happens in these cases, so it's always better to know the and just make sure you convey these points properly. Last but not least, in Andhra Pradesh, a woman's child was kidnapped. एक और दूसरा केस लॉ है. आंध्र प्रदेश में एक औरत का बच्चा गायब हो जाता है. She goes to a police station. It's not in the jurisdiction. Still, the police write a zero FIR. They write the FIR, they transfer the case, and within 24 hours, the child is found. So we have cases where the police do take action, but unfortunately in majority of the cases the police are unable to take action, and the result is people end up suffering. So एक 1 minute की चीज जो है मैं बोलना चाहूंगा लास्ट में कि we very easily blame the police. I mean, I'm not taking their defense, I'm not trying to defend them, but what I'm trying to just mention is that their job is a very thankless job. So just consider yourself. आप लोग स्टूडेंट्स हैं, प्रोफेशनल्स हैं, आप लोग अपनी अपनी लाइफ में झूठ तो बोलते होंगे. I mean, because just try to recall that instance when you tried to cover up something in order to probably at work or probably before a client. आपने जब कोई छोटा सा cover up किया है just to make your work simpler. So आपने कभी ना कभी तो ऐसा किया होगा, and people do that. It's natural mentality. Unfortunately, the police have a responsibility, and it is not justified. I mean, although it's a 24/7 job for them, they go under tremendous stress. But this cannot be used as a defense, because अगर आप थोड़े statistics देखोगे तो you'll find out that our police is constantly under tremendous stress, because उनका एक 24/7 thankless job है, बहुत स्ट्रेस होता है उनको. आप अगर गूगल करके देखो तो आपको पता लगेगा कि they go through all these things. But again, that cannot be used as an excuse to just say no. तो होता क्या है कि every police station has a set of FIRs and they have to report it to their seniors कि अच्छा हमने इस FIR पे क्या एक्शन लिया. तो every additional FIR is a responsibility for them. तो इस सिचुएशन में वो FIRs को अवॉइड करने की कोशिश करते हैं, इग्नोर करने की कोशिश करते हैं. सो इसी वजह से दे आर सो के प्रॉब्लम्स होती हैं कि FIR क्यों रजिस्टर्ड नहीं होती. तो दैट मे often be used as an excuse for them by them in order to save themselves from any work. So again, this cannot be used as an excuse. It is very sad that these things happen, and what I may suggest is, whenever you come across on any case or आपके साथ कभी होता है, never lose your cool. Always make sure you convey your points in a very calm manner, because shouting and doing all these things is never the solution. Keep your calm, maintain a decorum, and make sure you gather as much as evidence as possible, because in the end फैसला तो एविडेंस के बेसिस पर ही होता है. सो मेक श्योर यू हैव योर एविडेंस एंड मेक श्योर you convey your points in the absolutely right manner. So I think that ends our thing. 36 minutes, so we have still about 9 minutes to open up for Q&As. So if anyone has any question and answers, also you can tell me what are your suggestions on this matter. One of my suggestions is, if there is a central authority जहां पे हम लोग जाके अपनी FIR रजिस्टर करवा सकते हैं, तो अब वो क्या करेंगे कि they will just write the FIR and forward it to जो भी jurisdiction होती है. So this is again can be a suggestion that can be made कि हर जिले में every district or maybe every city must have a central authority जहां पे आप अपनी FIR लिखवा सको जाने के लिए. तो ये हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट या हर सिटी में प्रॉब्ली होना चाहिए. इससे what will probably happen is कि at least they will take the FIR and they will start taking action, because any action is only taken after the FIR is registered. So this I think is one of my suggestions, because usually people go through a lot of harassment. Also, we cannot deny one thing, that there are often people in our society that just go and write a nakli, एक गलत FIR file करा देंगे just to take revenge. So many people do this to misuse the law, and many people, many women, many men, many people from the society have done this in the past. And कई बार जो है पुलिस को ये भी लगता है कि यार कहीं झूठी FIR तो नहीं लिखवा रहा. So कई बार, I mean, that is not always the case. Maybe 10-20% maybe they have a reason to believe कि गलत FIR तो नहीं लिखवा रहा. तो ये वजह है कि हमारी सोसाइटी में ऐसे एलिमेंट्स भी हैं जो कानून का मिसयूज करते हैं. तो because of these elements, other people end up suffering. So what we can just that's again one of my observation, and again one of my suggestion कि एक सेंट्रल अथॉरिटी होनी चाहिए जो ये सारे ऑफेंसेस में FIRs जो है लिखे, ताकि जो FIR लिखे वो आगे फॉरवर्ड हो जाए. एंड बाद में अगर किसी ने गलत लिखवाई हो, बिकॉज कंप्लेनेंट ने अगर कोई चीज गलती करी है, तो अगेन उसका लंबा प्रोसेस है, क्या होगा क्या नहीं होगा, लंबी चौड़ी बात है. तो फिर उस पर कुछ ऐसा प्रोविजन हो कि हाँ, अगर कोई चीज गलत पाई जाती है उस पर एक्शन लिया जाए, और एक सेंट्रल अथॉरिटी जहां पे आप जाके कन्वीनियंटली अपनी FIR लिखवा सको. So now quickly what I'll do is I'll try and take your questions, and yeah. So what if there is a mistake in the FIR by mistake and we have signed it? Can we see what I've just said कि आप please अपनी FIR को देख के पढ़ना. So I'm sorry but ऐसा कोई नहीं है. अगर आपने गलती कर दी तो कर दी. Then again when the trial starts, you can just what you can probably do is give it in writing, send it by post. I am so and so, FIR number, I realize this thing has happened wrong and ये मेरा वो है. तो ये आप पुलिस को भेज सकते हो, वो देखेंगे. अगर वो कुछ कर लें तो उनकी इच्छा है, अदरवाइज एक बार आपने उस चीज पे साइन कर दी तो इट कैन नॉट बी ऑल्टर्ड. व्हाट प्रिकॉशन यू कैन टेक इज, आप एक रजिस्टर्ड कोर्ट से चिट्ठी भेज सकते हो उनको बताते हुए चार्जशीट फाइल होने से पहले कि देखो ये मेरी साइड से हुआ है. उन्होंने कर लिया तो कर लिया. I'm not sure what is the situation क्या हो. Again, it depends on the facts and circumstances of a case, but this is a precaution that you can take कि उन्हें आप registered post भेज दो. Keep this thing in mind. Registered post always. India Post. Spelling ठीक लिखी ना मैंने, India Post. Yeah. So registered post हमेशा भेजो, हमेशा उसका प्रूफ रखो. चाहे तो एक छोटी सी वीडियो बना लो कि मैं इसके अंदर डाल रहा हूँ, ये हो रहा है, सील हो गया, ये लिख दिया मैंने इस पे. तो हमेशा ऐसी छोटी सी वीडियो अपने पास रखो एज अ प्रूफ. तो ट्राई ऐसी कोई मिस्टेक ना हो, एंड जस्ट कुछ ऐसा होता है, दिस इज द सोल्यूशन. So that's Vaishnavi's question. Okay, so Mahima is asking, so who can got to mention is Zero FIR key. Now Sushant Singh Rajput's case, let's add a bit masala to the case, to this thing. So Sushant Singh Rajput के case में it was a zero FIR because वो FIR लिखवाई गई थी पटना में FIR लिखवाई गई, and now it's in Bombay. So FIR was registered in Patna. वहां से आपने सुना होगा न्यूज में, the police team came to Bombay, they did their investigation, so and so things. So again that was also zero FIR that was registered. एक और चीज है कि एक और केस ऐसा हुआ था जिसमें एक इंसान के खिलाफ राजस्थान में द विक्टिम वाज रेप्ड एंड शी वाज अनेबल टू फाइल एन एफआईआर बिकॉज दैट पर्सन वाज वेरी इन्फ्लुएंशियल बहुत था राजस्थान में वो. तो दे केम टू दिल्ली एंड गॉट अ जीरो एफआईआर. नाउ राजस्थान एंड दिल्ली आर डिफरेंट स्टेट्स, राइट? A person who's influential over there may not be influential here. So this is again one option, that you go to a different state and just get an FIR registered, at somehow get an FIR registered by keep giving this thing of a zero FIR. आप बहाना ये मार सकते हो कि वहां पे नहीं हो पाया, या फिर आप ये कह सकते हो कि मेरा रेजिडेंस यहाँ पे है तो इसलिए मैं यहाँ पे FIR कर रहा हूँ या कर रही हूँ. तो गो टू डिफरेंट स्टेट एंड डू दैट, बिकॉज इस केस में वो हुआ था. तो हम इसे सीख सकते हैं कि वो दिल्ली में उन्होंने केस रजिस्टर किया एंड नाउ दैट पर्सन इज बिहाइंड बार्स